Welcome to a quick tutorial from the library on how to access LearningExpress PrepStep. This database can be very helpful for emergency services professionals, especially as you train to take certain tests that prepare you for certain certifications. So to get started, I'm on the CCCC website, and I'm going to go to the tab under which the library can be found, Support and Success, and then you see the library here. I'm going to click on that. You can see our URL up here if you want to go directly there. And we're going to scroll down to databases. I'm going to click on that, and I will see A to Z listing, find by subject, and find by format. The easiest way to find LearningExpress PrepStep is to click on A to Z listing. A drop-down menu will appear, and because it's alphabetical, we'll click on the letter L. You'll see right here there is LearningExpress PrepStep. Click on that. All right, now we are on the main website for LearningExpress PrepStep, and it mostly helps to first kind of get an idea of what we have in this database that would be beneficial for you, and then I will show you how to sign in and or register depending on if you have an account or not. So career preparation is going to be where you want to look. You'll click on career preparation and you'll see a lot of different options. You can see here that we have the emergency medical services and firefighting exams, law enforcement exams, among the various other types of exams that prepare individuals for a career. So you can click on whichever one you want to see, and it's actually going to take you to several different links, and then you can explore those links. And then if you want to look at a separate set of career tests and workbooks and exams, flashcards, you can actually just scroll and pick what you want. So we can open up the law enforcement exams, and you can see the different categories that are available. Corrections officer exam, police officer exam. You'll see that some of these will have very specific types of exams, the NYPD police officer exam, the California police officer exam, and then some are going to be more broad. To access all of these, the best thing that you can do is go ahead and sign in or register, and then you'll actually be able to explore the tests in more detail and decide whether or not you want to take them, or decide whether or not some of the study materials might be beneficial for you. Maybe the test isn't something that you want to take, but you would like to use the flashcards. And by creating an account, you basically open yourself up to being able to access those resources and materials much more easily. So let's click on Sign In, Register. I already have a username and password. If you do as well for this particular database, great. You can go ahead and put that in there and log in. If not, you can click Register, and then you're going to just fill in some information. Your institution should already be selected for you, and then you can fill in this information: first name, last name, your email, your password. I think the big thing is for whatever email you select, you would want to just be able to access that should you need to be able to reset your password. So pick an email that you're going to be able to consistently access if you need to. The student ID number and the course section number, you do not need to fill in. This is not a required part. You do not need to be in any special class to take these practice tests or use the resources or even use this database, so you can ignore this part. And then when you're ready, click Register. Now that I've logged in, I'm at the My Center section. That's basically showing me where I have started tests or tutorials or videos, and I can pick back up where I've left off. So I'm going to show you how to access those tests and study materials for emergency services training exams, firefighting exams, police officer exams, and then show you how you can access them again should you need to. So we'll go to the home page and we'll go right back to career preparation. It's right there, just where we found it originally. And then let's do the emergency medical services and firefighting exams. And you can see here that I've got the exams here, the ebooks here, and the flashcards here. The flashcards and the ebooks can be very helpful. It will tell you under each flashcard or each ebook kind of what is contained in that set or in that resource so that you know what you want to work with, and then you can decide what you'd like to use. So I'm going to open the flashcards just to show you what they're like. You'll have your question, and then you can click on the card and it will show you the answer, and then you can click on the arrows to the left and to the right to see the rest of the cards. Now I'm going to go back. You can see here there's save progress and exit. We'll click on that. I'm going to save it. So that way, when I go back to my center, I can actually see where I've left off at. So let me just try going to my center here. It's right under my account name. And you can see right here, if I scroll down to the flashcards, there's that deck that I just started. So I'm going to either go back home or I can select a center. I personally prefer to go back home because it allows me to sort of see the big picture visually. But that's my preference. If you prefer to navigate by selecting my center and then the career preparation links, you can do that. Perhaps the most beneficial of all of the resources that this particular database offers you, while the ebooks and flashcards are great, I think that the exams are probably the most useful when it comes to practicing for a real life experience. So let me click on the State Trooper Practice Exams. And you can see here there's a couple different tests, and it will show me sort of what to expect in each one. I'm going to click Start Test. Now, these are practice exams, so they don't have any real life scores or implications for when you actually take the test, but it can help to prepare you by giving you sort of a simulated environment by which you might be taking the test. The other thing to think about when taking this kind of test is if you get cut off in the middle, you can always pick back up where you left off, as long as you save your work. That way, let's say, for example, you've got to rush out and complete a few errands, your progress is not lost. You can just pick back up when you have more time. I think the best part about these types of tests are the different modes that you can do them in. You can do the learner mode, that's when you view the answers that help you as you go along and study. And then the practice mode is where you can see the explanations after you finish the test. If it's timed, it will display, but it won't be enforced, meaning it won't be cut off. So you can see here you have 120 minutes. If you do the practice test, you can actually see the time, but you'll continue to be able to take the test. The simulation is the test will stop when the timer is up. So that gives you more like a experience where you're held to the expectation of completing within a certain time frame. You can take each of these tests as many times as you want. So if you wanted to take it one time as a learner and then wanted to do a simulation, you could do that. So I really like this database because it does actually allow you to be very flexible about how you want to take the test. And then you can just take it as many times as you need to feel really comfortable and confident with your knowledge. So I selected learner mode and I clicked start test. And you can see here I've got my question and I can kind of answer what I need to. And then I can either clear the answer or I can check the answer. Remember, this is the learner mode, so I can take as much time as I want, and then it will tell me what's correct and why. And I can kind of explore what I'm thinking about, why I may have chosen one versus the other. And this test helps me sort of think through that. And I can find kind of what the subtopic is, maybe something I need to really practice and work on. I've got my notepad. If I need to take some notes, I can click on that. And then at the end, I can score my test. You can also jump to questions if you wanted to. Again, this is that sort of learner mode. So you got a lot of flexibility here. So I'm going to click finish later so that I can come back to it. I could close without saving, but I won't do that. Click save. And then when it's time for me to go back to taking this test, all I have to do is go back to my center. And you can see right here, here's my test that I started. So this is just a real quick tutorial of how you can interact with this particular database so that you can prepare for whatever your career path may be, particularly when it comes to emergency services, medical, firefighting, or police officer training.